You're watching Just the News. I'm Amita Balachandra. We've got a lot of things lined up for you today. The first being the Omicron variant. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia has told the Parliament today that India has so far not reported any case of Omicron. In fact, he said in the Rajya Sabha today, and I quote, "The Omicron variant has been detected in 14 countries so far. There is no case of Omicron in India yet. We are immediately checking suspicious cases and conducting genome sequencing. We are also taking all possible precautions," end quote. Now, stressing on the need to take all precautions, Mandavia said, and I quote, "We have learned a lot during the pandemic. We have resources and labs to check. All measures have been taken to ensure this variant does not reach the country," end quote. Meanwhile, here's what several vaccine makers have said, starting with Moderna CEO, who said that COVID-19 vaccines are unlikely to be effective against the Omicron variant of the coronavirus as they have been previously. Now, this of course sparked fresh worry in the financial markets. Moderna CEO told the Financial Times in an interview today, and I quote, "There is no world, I think, where the effectiveness is the same level we had with Delta." He went on to say, and I quote, "I think it's going to be a material drop. I just don't know how much because we need to wait for the data. But all the scientists I've talked to are like, this is not going to be good," end quote. Meanwhile, Bharat Biotech has said that it is studying whether its indigenously developed Covaxin will work against the Omicron variant of coronavirus. Speaking to Reuters, and this was a text message according to the Reuters report that Bharat Biotech spokesperson said, and I quote, "Covaxin was developed against the original Wuhan variant," end quote. Meanwhile, speaking to NDTV, Serum Institute's founder Adar Poonawalla has said a version of Covishield tailor-made for the new COVID variant, Omicron, can be considered if research indicates such a need. He also said that tests are on for Omicron and a call on the matter will be taken in another 2 weeks when more is known about the new virus. Meanwhile, Oxford University has said that there is no evidence so far that existing vaccines will not provide high levels of protection against severe disease from the Omicron variant. Meanwhile, this is what the government of India is doing. The centre has, as of today, asked states to ramp up COVID-19 testing as the world battles with this new coronavirus variant. We've also seen travel curbs across the globe. The Union Health Ministry has said that Omicron variant does not escape RT-PCR and RAT testing, appeasing some concerns against domestic health workers that changes in the spike protein of the virus could lead to conventional tests failing to detect the variant. Now, schools in Mumbai and Pune, which were set to reopen on the 1st of December, has now been put off till the 15th of December. They will continue to remain shut. West Bengal, in the meantime, has also announced that existing COVID restrictions and relaxations in the state will continue till the 15th of December. Meanwhile, China's foreign ministry spokesperson has said that the 2022 Winter Olympics is expected to go ahead smoothly and successfully despite the emergence of the Omicron COVID variant. Now, Beijing is set to host the Winter Olympics from the 4th of February to the 20th of February, with all athletes and staff subject to daily testing. Now, the games will be held without foreign spectators. An update now on COVID. India has reported 6,990 new COVID cases in the last 24 hours. 190 deaths have also been reported in the last 24 hours. Kerala has reported 4,723 new COVID cases in the last 24 hours. An update now on what's going on in the winter session of the Parliament. 16 opposition parties today met with Rajya Sabha Chairman Venkaiah Naidu to push back on 12 opposition MPs being suspended yesterday for the whole of Parliament's winter session. Now, when their request to revoke the MP suspension was denied, the opposition parties walked out of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha and protested at the Gandhi statue in the premises. Now, Rajya Sabha Chairman Naidu said, and I quote, "The members who have committed this sacrilege against the House have not expressed any remorse On the other hand, they are justifying it. So I don't think the appeal of the leader of opposition Kharge for revocation of suspension is worth considering, end quote. Now, Trinamool Congress leader Derek O'Brien said, and I quote, starting 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. from tomorrow, our two MPs, Dola Sen and Shanta Chetri, will sit daily at Gandhi statue in protest against their suspension, end quote. Now, 12 opposition MPs from Rajya Sabha have been suspended from Parliament's winter session for the shocking violence that took place on the last day of the monsoon session. Now, the opposition has condemned the suspension, saying that it is against the rules. The list of suspended MPs includes Shiv Sena's Priyanka Chaturvedi and Anil Desai, Trinamool Congress's Dola Sen and Shanta Chetri, CPM's Elamaram Karim, and 6 other Congress leaders. Now, the centre today also informed the Parliament that 40 civilians have been killed and 72 injured in Jammu and Kashmir in terror-related incidents till the 15th of November this year. Now, the Minister of State for Home Affairs, Nityanand Rai, has said that 35 personnel of the security forces, including the Jammu and Kashmir police, were killed in such incidents till the 15th of November, and 86 of them were injured. Also in the news, Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami has announced that his government would repeal the Char, Dham, Devasthanam board bill. In a tweet, he said, and I quote, considering the sentiments and interests of people, honor of priests and stakeholders and others associated with Char Dham, and on the basis of a report of a high-level committee constituted under Manohar Kandhyani, the government has decided to repeal Devasthanam Board Act, end quote. Now, the bill sought to include Char Dham of Badrinath, Kedarnath, Gangotri and Yamunotri, and 47 other temples under the purview of an autonomous government shrine board. Now, the priests of these shrines have been protesting since 2019, saying that the government did not consult them prior to the drafting of this legislation. Uttarakhand, if you remember, is set to go to polls in February 2022. Moving on now, Admiral R Hari Kumar today assumed charge as the 25th Chief of the Naval Staff. Admiral Kumar succeeds Admiral Karambir Singh, who retired from the service after a 2-year tenure as the Navy Chief. Now, Admiral Kumar is a gunner specialist and was the Western Naval Command. In his 38-year career, he has held several prestigious positions, including commanding the Coast Guard ship CO-1, Indian naval ships, as well as being in charge of vessels like Nishank, Kora, Ranveer, and aircraft carrier INS Virat. An update now on dengue cases that's been rising in Delhi. So far, according to a report by the civic body of Delhi, the national capital has reported 8,276 dengue cases till the 27th of November, out of which 6,700 cases were in the month of November alone. This is the highest number of cases reported since 2015. On to business news right now. Twitter named IIT Bombay alumnus Parag Agarwal as the new CEO, replacing Jack Dorsey. Now, the 37-year-old is now the youngest CEO to head a company in the S&P 500 list. Mr. Agarwal had joined Twitter in 2011 and was named as the Chief Technology Officer in 2017. US tech giants like Google, Microsoft, Adobe, IBM, and now Twitter are run by CEOs of Indian origin. Meanwhile, Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that the government will introduce a new crypto bill in the parliament after cabinet approval. Now, answering a question relating to cryptocurrencies in the Rajya Sabha, FM said, and I quote, "This is a risky area and not in a complete regulatory framework. No decision was taken on banning its advertisements. Steps are taken to create awareness through RBI and SEBI. Now, the government will introduce a bill," end quote. Now, earlier, the FM had said that there is no proposal so far to recognize Bitcoin as a currency. On to news coming in from across the world right now. Barbados has officially removed Queen Elizabeth II as its head of state and become the world's newest republic. This nearly 400 years after the first English ships arrived in the Caribbean island. Now, the president has said, and I quote, "We, the people, must give Republic Barbados its spirit and its substance. We must shape its future. We are each other's and our nation's keepers. We, the people, are Barbados," end quote. Now, Barbados had won independence from Britain in 1966. And on to sports news right now. Argentina and PSG forward Lionel Messi won the Ballon d'Or for the 7th time. Now, Messi's Ballon d'Or win comes after he won Copa America for the first time in July. Now, in the meantime, Alexia Putellas won the Women's Ballon d'Or. That's really the piece of good news that we have for you here on Just the News. Thank you so much for watching.